representative of Vietnam for his statement, and now give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Mr. President, we thank the Special Representative of the Secretary General Volker Perthes for information about the situation in the Sudan. We welcome the participation of the Chargé d'Affaires interim of Sudan in this meeting. We have studied the most recent quarterly meeting on this country, as well as the work of the United Nations Integrated Transition Assistance Mission in Sudan. The Russian Federation has been closely monitoring developments in the Sudan, which is going through a challenging period in its contemporary history. We are convinced that existing disagreements in Sudanese societies can and should be resolved exclusively through dialogue with the participation of all the major political forces of the country, with a view to ensuring security and stability and achieving national reconciliation. We welcome the signing of the November 21st political agreement, which was the outcome of intensive negotiations between the military leaders of the country and various civilian forces, community, and tribal leaders, with the active mediation of a number of Arab and African states, as well as regional organizations. One aspect that we consider particularly important is the political declaration's provision that a partnership between the military leadership of the country with civilian representatives constitutes a guarantee of Sudan's stability and security. Agreements reached by the Sudanese leadership became an important step towards settling the acute internal crisis in that country. We trust that their implementation will contribute to stabilizing the situation in the Sudan and create favorable conditions for further progress during the transitional period. We take a positive view of the statement of the chair of the Sovereignty Council of Sudan, Mr. Burhan, regarding his intention to hold general elections in July 2023, as well as his reaffirmed commitment to the peace agreement between the Transitional Government of Sudan and a number of rebel groups, which was signed in Juba on October 3rd, 2020. We are awaiting the results of ongoing negotiations to form a technocratic cabinet in Sudan, and we trust that this process will take the interests of the provinces into account as well. We believe that the UN Integrated Transition Mission in Sudan should continue to provide the necessary assistance to Sudanese leaderships in a number of key areas, including the settlement in Darfur, carrying out the necessary economic reforms, maintaining domestic peace and law and order, and working with donors in order to ensure sustained financial assistance for the country. In the current context, it is more important than ever to ensure depoliticized communication with all parties without blatant external interference. We cannot fail to express our regret regarding the use of terminology in the Secretary General's report that was incorrect. This could undermine trust between the UN and the Sudanese authorities. We call on them to engage in mutually respectful and constructive dialogue. Mr. President, the Russian Federation cannot agree with the political pressure and outright economic blackmail measures that continue to be applied against the Sudan. Attempts to rouse the Sudanese street to action risks destabilizing the country further. Externally imposing dubious socioeconomic schemes and one-size-fits-all democratization formulas on Sudanese authorities, as well as politicizing the issues of providing economic and financial assistance, have already led to divisions in Sudanese society. This provoked general instability and a new spiral of decentralization trends. We also believe that the initiative of a number of Western states to hold the November 5th Human Rights Council special session on the situation in Sudan was inopportune. We oppose the establishment of a Human Rights Council special rapporteur mandate on the Sudan. Regarding the sanctions regime against the Sudan, we believe that any sanctions regime must be periodically reviewed and adapted to the realities on the ground. We trust that concrete parameters will soon be developed for lifting sanctions from this country. Mr. President, in conclusion, allow me to express the conviction that the people of the Sudan can and should resolve their internal problems independently and set the course for the sovereign development of their country based on national interests. Support for these efforts should, in our view, be the main goal of the Security Council and the international community. Thank you for your attention.
Je remercie la
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation.